If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
Kind of. I mean, like, when the second UFC said they were coming back to Boston, I thought it was a good chance. You know, I've been gearing up to get a fight earlier anyways, so it just worked out perfect.
Did it have to be Boston?
No, it did. I mean, it's obviously it's great to fight in Boston. Like, I love being here. I'm really excited about being here in front of everyone, but it wouldn't have mattered if I fought in Tampa, fought something in Vegas. Like, it's obviously just extra nice being in Boston.
How many people have asked you to fight at the last fight?
A lot. Even like to the last fight, everyone just assumed I was done, you know. And it wasn't that I was done; it was that I need to take some time and just take a step back, reevaluate what I was doing, change things up a little bit. So we did that. I've had a lot of time now. It's been, I think it was like April last year. I've had a lot of time to kind of reevaluate and kind of look at things, and so I feel good.
Is this one of those take it fight by fight, or do you plan on continuing to fight after a fight? I'm sure you get asked that question a lot.
We always take it fight by fight. You know, I can't think of a whole lot of things that are a lot worse than having my last fight be in Boston, though. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see how it goes. You know, I feel really good. I don't feel old. Like, everyone's always saying, like, oh, you're old, like 35. But, you know, I understand I've had a lot of fights in the UFC. But I think we're a little bit smarter than most people. Like, we take a lot of time off when we've had injuries and being hurt. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Just a matter of performance. Like, you get in there, get in and out quick. Another fight, but another war.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not dead set on it. Like, I have a gym in Easton, Massachusetts. So it's like half hour from here. Like, the gym does well. We're packed all the time. Like, so I don't need to fight. It's just I was really unhappy with how the last fight went. That couldn't be the last one. This may be the last one, but not necessarily.
What does it mean to share this card and share the open workout with Randy Costa? He's been with you for so long.
Oh, it's great. You know, like, we got a lot of guys that train with us, like, all the time. You know, like, it's Randy, but we also have Mike Rodriguez and Calvin Cater and Rob Font and a whole bunch of other guys. Peter Barrett. We got a whole bunch of guys. So it's great that, to be on here with Randy. I was glad he was able to, come here today, spend some time with us. It's awesome. I've been, like, Randy started with me, like, when he was, so much younger. It's like a little kid almost, and just he's just such a pillar in the gym. He's one of those guys, like a cornerstone. Like, anyone's getting ready for, he's down to spar, he's down to wrestle, he's down to do whatever, help people out with diet, help people out with whatever. So, like, I'm glad I can help out Randy, but I'm really glad I could, get him included in this.
Did you expect this to happen for Randy so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, so Randy was like the biggest wimp like 2 years ago, right? Like, we wanted him to fight. Like, he's doing hard rounds with like me and Rob Font and Calvin Cater and all those other guys that are really good, and he's doing great against them. But he didn't want to fight. It was like, I don't know, nerves or what. But we had it was like pulling teeth to get him to fight. We get him to fight. He bangs out 3 wins. We knew he was going to the UFC. So like it was kind of the plan all worked out perfectly, the way it happened. But Randy's really good.
Talk about
you. You get Jonathan Pearce. He's a newcomer coming off the Contender Series UFC debut. What have you learned about him through this process? Did you know much about him when the fight was offered to you?
I knew a little bit about him, but not a ton. It's like there's so many fights all the time. Like I used to know everything about everyone all the time. Like everyone in my weight class, people above me, people below me, I knew everyone. Now there's so many fights, it's tough to keep track of everything. I remembered him as the kid that got his jaw broken really bad. Before he got fighting as a pro. So I remembered his story a little bit, but I didn't remember a whole lot about him. We went back and watched and broke down tape, and my coach did a really good job. I think we got him a good game plan for what's going to go on, but we'll see.
You talk about your coaching, obviously. Is that something that you consider when you're making the decision how long you want to do this? Some guys don't have anything at the end of their career. You have a really good thing going. You seem to have a stable in New England.
Yeah, I mean, we do really well. The biggest thing is we have like really good culture at our gym. It's like we got guys that are very, very good, but we always talk about don't break your toys, right? You need to keep your people happy and healthy and prepared well. You can't have you have one person that's like a bad egg. It just ruins it for everyone else. The whole entire thing comes crumbling down. So we have a really good kind of stable of guys there, all good training partners. So I don't have to come here and fight. I could focus on my gym more. My gym would probably do a little bit better if I did focus on my gym more. But for like the last 10 months or so, I've been so focused on fighting. But I'm doing it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it.
You talked about your last fight, obviously. You went with that in the rear view mirror.
Yep.
What were the adjustments that you made made you feel like you could fight again? Was it mental, physical?
So sometimes you just get comfortable doing the things you've been doing. You know, so that was my 26th fight in the UFC, and I kind of set on like the thing I was doing. I knew what I was doing for my strength conditioning. I knew what I was doing for jiu-jitsu. I knew what I was doing for boxing and everything else. So we changed out a few things. I don't want to get into too much, but a big part of it was I started going to skill strength with Mike Perry, and I drive like an hour and a half twice a week. I leave so early to get there. Ends up being like a 5 or 6 hour ordeal. But it's important. It was one of those things. And I kind of knew I needed to do it before, but it's such a big commitment. It's like, I could spend 10 hours doing other things, or I could spend 10 hours going to the strength conditioning place. And, before I didn't think it was maybe as necessary. And after my last fight, I was sure that it was like a necessary change. So we did it. I sucked it up. I wasn't happy about driving so far, but I want to be as prepared as possible, so I did what was necessary.
I know you said you weren't overly familiar with Pearce when he was offered to you, but have you had time to kind of look him over and research him? What do you expect to see on him?
There's a lot of things that I'm thinking about, but I don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's a long-range kickboxer. Like a lot of volume. Kid's tough. Super tough. Anyone that gets to this point is super tough. Had a great fight in the Contender Series. I'm expecting a tough fight, but I'm also I know where he's coming from. Like, I was the kid that was the underdog. He's not as much of an underdog, but being an underdog, coming up, fighting someone with a lot of experience, fighting a veteran, and I understand how you can, make a name off of that, So I'm very committed to not letting that happen to me on Friday night.
You just shared your moment with Randy Costa.
Yep.
Is that your idea to let him get some more experience?
I'm always happy to have him come. Yeah, for sure. I try to get all my guys involved in everything. It's not just like this. It's everything we do. Like, I want, I have a girl, Erin Johnson, who we think is going to be very, very good. Right? I have her come and she corners. She gets in the back room and she corners for fighters, so she gets to see like what's going on in the back room. I don't want things to be like the first time the spotlight's on you to be the first time people are there and experiencing it. So we do the same thing. We get all of our fighters that are going to maybe fight, our amateurs. They start cornering for our fighters. Because a lot of times the third cornerman is not like necessarily super necessary. So we try to, kind of bring them along, and that was what worked out well for me. Like, I was cornering guys, and it helps with just nerves and seeing how other people deal with things, and so I'm pumped that Randy got to come here. Now, when he has his own, open workout, he won't be so nervous about it. He'll know what's going on. He'll know what to expect.
You mentioned all this list of fighters.
Yep.
And you talked about training with them, but you do a lot more than training. You do coaching. How much, time can you spend training yourself, but also coaching Randy and Kyle and all these guys?
It depends what's going on. Like, when for like Rob Font, for example, right? This camp, he was a training partner. I wasn't coaching Rob. Like, I was sparring with Rob. Like, I was getting good work with Rob. There's other times when I'm working on things with him where I'm like, okay, I'm taking a lot of time and I'm doing a lot of like very specific drilling, and I'm not necessarily trying to win. I'm trying to make him struggle and make him work a little bit, but I wasn't trying to win. So that's the only real difference from my perspective for being the coach versus training partner. There's Rob does things better than me. Calvin does things better than me. So like I learn from them, I take from them, but I probably give them a little more than they give me, but it's good work all the way around.
When you wake up Friday morning, are you more nervous for your fight or your teammates' fights?
I'll probably be more focused on my fight, I think. Usually it's the opposite, but for basically the last month and a half, I've tried to kind of remove myself a little bit from we talked a little bit about the planning and things like that, what was going on, but I've kind of been hands off for the most part because it's just too much sometimes. You just get too emotionally invested. So I'm trying to not care about Randy's fight so much. I obviously do, but I'm trying to not get super into it and just kind of stay focused on my stuff.
If this is your last fight, you seem you're on defense. If this is your last fight, what do you think your legacy is in the sport?
I think unfortunately we know this guy didn't have cardio sometimes because I've gotten tired. But I think a lot of it's come from you take damage and your gas tank doesn't last as long. But I think I had a lot of really memorable fights. Good or bad. I've had a lot of bonuses. I think I'll be remembered as that. I think people are going to remember that I wore so many different hats. I've been coaching and cornering and everything. While I'm still fighting and. I don't know. I think people will look back fondly on it, but I'm not super concerned. I'm happy that people enjoy watching me fight.
Are you gonna take a moment and think hey man, I'm in the Boston Garden. I've come a long way since fighting on my front lawn. And,
yep.
Or getting brought in to supposed to lose to Jeff.
Yeah.
Over.
Yep. No.
You ever take a moment and just.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. It's crazy. I think about fighting in small little bars and clubs where you're getting kicked out of the little sidebar that we're warming up in. Yeah. Yep. There's from Club Lido up in Revere to the Lauzon Bar in Taunton. You know what I mean? All over the place.
In Worcester?
Yep. So it's just there's so many good memories about how it's kind of changed over the years. Even this week, we have trifecta meals for all the food. They literally, I show up, they give me all my food, I'm doing it, they give me all, here, have some water, have this. It's just it's so different than it was in the beginning. Even when I got in the UFC, it's night and day different. Oh, awesome. Thank you, guys.